welcome back to Magical Task Force. Turmentic here, and I've got a lot that I want to cover in this video. We got two events that are starting this week. We have a brilliant event, part 2 of Darkest of Times, that starts tomorrow, February 4th at 2 p.m. EST. But we also have a book night event, which will last from February 5th to February 7th, starting at 11 a.m. local time. Now I'm going to be going through both of them because it's really awesome how both events work hand in hand, and there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do working off of one event to the other. So stick around. It's a complete breakdown of both the Brilliant event and the Book Night event. So let's start. As always, I will leave links in the description if you want to jump ahead if you already know about Book Night and things like that. There's a lot of good advice that I'm going to give at the end of the video too after I cover the Brilliant event because like I said, I think the two events hand in hand go together, and they should be able to allow you to complete both of them easily if you work both of them simultaneously. So like I said, let's start. Alright, so first off, Book Night event. It starts, like I said, February 5th and lasts until February 7th. That's Wednesday, just in case you actually want the day of the week. It will go from 11 a.m. until 11 a.m. local time. So 11 a.m. February 5th until 11 a.m. February 7th local time. Doesn't look that hard. Looks very similar to the Community Day tasks that we had last month. Like I said, pretty easy. The thing is, though, is that these will help you with the Brilliant event tasks. And I'll get more into that as we start covering the Brilliant event. But let's look at these tasks. So first one, return 20 foundables of any family. Doesn't matter what it is, return any of them. You get 4 level 1 rune stones from Magical Game and Sports. The second is return 5 dragon foundables. That's right, dragons are returning for this 2-day event. Really excited about that. And it's not only your local dragon, it's also another dragon from the registry as well. You have Europe, Africa, North and South America going to having the Peruvian Viper Tooth and the Welsh Green Dragon. And in Asia and Australia, we'll have the Chinese Fireball and the Antipodean Opali. Now that's really exciting because if you remember from Day of the Dragons last year, I think it was Asia got the other one that was part of their foundry, their family registry. Everybody else got Chinese Fireball. So this will give people in Europe, Africa, North America, and South America specifically the opportunity to prestige those pages, which is really awesome. The other really cool thing is that dragon eggs and dragon portmanteaus are returning. That's right. I don't think they did it during Day of the Dragons, but at least if you went to the Wizards Unite Fest in Indianapolis, the dragon eggs actually were on the ground. You didn't have to open the portmanteaus. We actually didn't see any portmanteaus except for I think like the first 5 minutes of the event or so, and then they're like, oh, we shouldn't have those. We were just picking up eggs. So it's really awesome that the eggs are actually going to be just on the ground. It doesn't specifically say it's only going to be the 2 that are going to be spawning in your area, but that's what I'm assuming is that, like, for example, me in North America, I'm only going to be able to find the Peruvian Viper Tooth and the Welsh Green Dragon eggs, which still I'm completely cool with because I got so many runestones because every time you pick up an egg, if it's just click and boom, you can pick it up, you got Oddity Family experience. That's huge. So any egg that you find, even if you already have it maxed, pick it up. You want that family experience. You're going to get so many runestones if you do. But yeah, so going back to the task, it's return 5 dragon foundables. Doesn't matter what they are. I'm very curious to see if the dragon eggs actually are going to count towards those dragon foundables. In my opinion, they should, but not entirely sure. If you finish that though, you get 1 Triwizard Cup fragment. That's awesome. It's such a good, I love that reward. The next one is return 5 Goblet of Fire fragments. If you do that, you get 1 Triwizard Cup fragment as well. Next one is use 5 Magical Games and Sports runes. You get 200 experience for that. And the last one is defeat 30 foes in wizarding challenges, and you get another Triwizard fragment. The rewards for completing all of those are 3 red spellbooks, 2 silver keys, which put in the back of your head, 2 silver keys, and 300 wizarding experience. Now, this, like I said, should be pretty straightforward and easy. It really reminds me of the Community Day, especially with like the Goblet of Fires, things like that, because they did a more severe foundable, but they were all over the place. So I'm hoping and I'm assuming that they're going to do the same thing with Goblet of Fire. They'll probably make dragons more available. I don't think we'll see a ton of spawns like we did Day of the Dragons for the 2 days, but we will at least see increased spawns of dragons, which is awesome in my opinion. It's really awesome too how all of these flow together. For example, you need to defeat 30 foes in wizarding challenges, but at the same time, you have to use 5 magical games and sports runes. Now, they give you those 5 runes as well. If you remember, you got 1 level 4 from the first quest, return 20 foundables of any family. But also, there is a free gift. The free gift is 1 potent EX potion, 25 energy, and 1 level 1 magical games and sports runestone. So they give you the 5 runestones right there. That one should be pretty simple, pretty easy. It's just going to require you to go out and play for just a little bit in order to get some of those. Again, I'm confident that the Goblet of Fires and the dragons are going to be easily found. They wouldn't make us, I don't feel, fine. 5 doesn't sound like a lot, but when you start thinking of like the severe and the emergency level spawns, 5 is a huge number. So I don't think that they would actually give those to us if they weren't going to make them plentiful, very similar to the Community Day. Now, this event, though, is very important. It is important, yes, because of the stuff that you get from it and everything like that, but it's more important because of the level of spawns, the type of spawns, emergency, severe types of spawns, having to use the runestones, defeat foes and challenges. All of that goes hand in hand, honestly, with part 2 of the Brilliant event. And I'm really, really, really impressed with how seamless they made these 2 solitary events this time. Like, I'm very impressed with it. Like I said, I'm going to be going back to Book Night event, as I'm talking about the Brilliant event, because you can complete a lot of the Brilliant event by doing Book Night. That's what's so awesome about it. So let's jump right into Brilliant event part 2, Darkest of Times. So to begin, Darkest of Times runs from February 4th till February 11th. It starts at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you'll just need to do the conversion in order to find out when it starts locally in your time. As just like with part 1, Brufio Brain Elixirs will last 1 hour. There's also a free pack that we get as well. 1 silver key, put that in the back of your head, and 25 spell energy. The quests are pretty similar to what we had to do for part 1, minus this time there is a little bit more fortress focus, whereas there was none really in part 1. Your foundables that you're looking for this time, the Pensive will be the only wild one you'll have. You should still be able to find the other ones, though, in the wild from part 1 as well, so you'll just have to click around until you can actually find all of the Pensives that you need. The Griffin statue comes from 3-kilometer portkeys, brilliant portkeys, I should say. The Deluminator, which is so excited, the Deluminator's in it, comes from fortresses, so you'll just have to use those runestones. Hopefully you have some left over. Shouldn't be that hard to get more this week for part 2 if you don't have any, so don't fret. It's the only fragment, by the way, the only foundable you need from a fortress. I'm so glad they're not doing dual fortress foundables, because that just killed me. Deluminator you get from fortress challenges using the Brilliant Runestone. Sherbet Lemon, I don't think I said that right, you get from completing part 2 of the quest line. Memory Vials you get from completing part 1 of the quest line. And Young Dumbledore you get for completing part 4 of the quest line. Quest line isn't that hard, only because of the Book Night event. So I'm gonna tell you some stuff, and it's my own personal opinion what I think it will make it easier, but let's jump right in and actually start looking at these tasks. All right. So, first task set, return 5 brilliant pensives. You get 3 green books for that. Shouldn't be that hard. Should be able to find them pretty easily. Next one, use 2 potions. Now, what I would do is I would use a Tonic of Trace Detection. I would not use a Barufio Brain Elixir when the event starts. You'll see why in a minute. Once you use those 2 potions, though, you get 25 brilliant XP. And then the last one is brew 2 potions. You get 25 brilliant XP. Now, you can have those 2 potions already pre-brewed, which you should have. I'll go into that later. So you just make sure you have 2 potions already pre-brewed. You can click, and you're good. Once you complete those 3, though, you get 500 wizarding XP. You get the Memory Vials Foundable Fragment, and you also get 1 silver key. So if you have in your back of your head, you have 1 silver key from the free pack, and you have a 2nd silver key from completing part 1 of the quest line. So, now to part 2. Unlock 5 portmanteaus. Alright. Again, that one isn't going to be nearly as hard as it was during part 1 because we now have Adventure Sync. There is something you could do potentially to help make that go quicker, but that's probably going to be the one that slows down people the most, I think, just because even with Adventure Sync, you still have to walk. Once you unlock those 5, though, you get 15 Brilliant XP. The next one is use 1 Brain Elixir. That's why I said to hold off until you get to part 2. You have to use one. And with them lasting an hour, if you use it at the beginning of the event, it'll be a full hour before you'll be able to actually do it. And part 1's pretty easy for you to get through. Once you actually activate the Brain Elixir, you get 300 Wizarding XP. And the next one is return 7 foundables of any family. Doesn't matter what it is. That one should be pretty simple, especially if you already have the Tonic of Trace Detection on. For that, you get 20 Brilliant XP. Once you finish all 3 of those, you're rewarded with 25 Brilliant XP, 3 Green Books, 6 Toadstools, and the Sherbet Lemon Foundable Fragment. Okay, so this is where it gets kind of interesting. Part 3, it seems harder than it really is, in my opinion, especially if you wait until the Book Night event starts. Part 3 goes as cast Resto Momentum 3 times. Now, that's the same foundables that we had last time. You can look at the picture right here and actually see what different foundables cast Resto Momentum against them. Orange Wizard has a great infographic. If you didn't save it on your phone last time, definitely want to go and save it. Go and check out Twitter or Instagram. Once you do that, though, you can get 500 EXP. Now, I will say, though, with the Resto Momentum, if you cast it and you run out of time, it doesn't matter. It still counts it. I accidentally did that last time because I remember we were talking about finding 1 foundable with the Resto Momentum and casting it super slowly and then hoping it didn't depart. Well, I actually casted it so slow it ran out of time and it still counted. So you can do that honestly twice and then cast it for real, and it should count for you. I'm going to try it again, see if it works. I'll post something on Twitter, so make sure you follow me at Turmentic on Twitter. I'll let you know if it works. I'm going to try because I'm almost confident that I actually missed the time limit the first time, and it still counted it because I got it like that. It was crazy. Next one is return 5 high threat foundables. Now, this is why I said Book Night comes into play. The dragons and the Goblet of Fires that you're going to find for book event count towards this. So those are going to be huge assets in order to find those high threat foundables. I threw up some dark detectors though, and between 3 dark detectors on an inn and Tonic of Trace Detection going, I had no problem finding the high threat ones last time. But if you are having a hard time finding them, just wait until the Book Night event starts on February 5th at 11 a.m. and you can start using those dragons and those Goblet of Fires in order to get those fragments. And once you finish that, you get 500 Wizarding XP as well. The last one is use 2 dark detectors. You get 20 Brilliant XP. That's just going to be one where they don't really give you any dark detectors this event, so you're going to just either have to buy them or hope that you get one from returning a foundable. That one's a little bit of a pay grabbing. I mean, I don't use them that often, so I have like 38 or so stocked up. But if you don't have any, you are going to have to purchase them or hope that you get one when you return a foundable. Once you finish all 3 of those, though, you get 25 Brilliant XP, 3 Green Books, 2 Unicorn Hair, and 3 Hermit Crab. Now, going on to part 4, again, goes hand in hand with Book Night event. You need to defeat 10 foes in Wizarding challenges. You get 25 Brilliant XP. You also need to use 3 Darkest of Times runestones, which you need to use 3 anyways in order to try to get those fragments from the fortresses. So I would hold off on doing all of your fortress battles until you get to part 4, just because you're gonna have to use the runes there anyways. Once you use those 3, though, you get 1 red book, 1 spell book. The last one is use 7 potions. It doesn't specify any potion, anything that could be any potion really. I would recommend probably doing using one of your Darkest of Times runestones, potentially maybe the last one of the 3. Going up to a higher chamber, something that might be a little bit harder for you just to make it worthwhile for those potions. You get 25 Brilliant XP for that. And once you finish all 3 of those, you get 750 Wizarding XP, 50 gold, 6 green books, and the Young Dumbledore foundable fragment for that Brilliant Registry. Now, there is a bonus, as norm, which is awesome, afterwards as well. This one is return 30 Darkest of Time foundables. Now that's pretty awesome because it was a little annoying last time, you only being able to return Dumbledore and not be the one that it counted for the bonus. So I'm glad that you can actually pick any of them. It can be any of the Brilliant Event foundables. That's pretty awesome. Now you get a young Dumbledore hair for your portrait for that. The next one is return 10 high threat foundables. Again, take advantage of the book event going on to get those high threat foundables. I mean, the dragons are high, if severe. I think most of them are severe, if not emergency. I know Goblet of Fire, I'm pretty sure, is severe. So use those spawns to help you with that bonus. That bonus. That's really what I'm trying to drive at. The next one is unlock 10 portkeys. Now, here's the thing. That one was a little bit of a kicker, and even with Adventure Sync, it still is kind of difficult just because you have to continuously check it, go back, make sure it's open, or open it, put a new one on. And I mean, you have a week, so you can do that. But what I'm going to recommend is actually using... when the event starts, I normally go and I fill up with my 5 brilliant portkeys. I'm only going to grab a couple. I'm only going to grab the number that I need to in order to get past part 2, open the 5 portmanteaus, because all of the dragon portkeys, if they're the same thing as they were from Day of the Dragons, are going to be 1 kilometer portkeys. So you can roll through those in like a matter of 15-20 minutes, depending on like what you do during the day, your job, or anything like that. You should be able to roll through those. So I don't think it's going to be that hard, especially with Adventure Sync on. I would just say definitely try to get to the bonus before the book event is over. So you can have those dragon portkeys, because the 1 kilometer is nothing. So if you finish that though, and you unlock all 10 of those, you get 3 spellbooks. Now, once you complete all of the bonus, you get 2,000 Wizarding XP, 100 Brilliant XP, which is awesome because that's a rune and a half, and the Wizarding Achievement Badge. It was a little Dumbledore. It's kind of cool looking. I like it. So I'm gonna actually really try to finish that bonus because I really like that badge. So going on to talking about like what you should do to prep for Darkest of Time Part 2. First off, like I said before, make sure you pre-brew those 2 potions. It doesn't matter what they are. Just make sure you don't receive them until the event actually starts. Again, do not use a brain elixir during Part 1 when the event starts. You want to save that brain elixir for when you get to Part 2 because it's actually part of the quest line. And what I would use, honestly, is a Tonic of Trace Detection, and then potentially if you want to just use a regular EX potion if you have one. They don't take too much too. That could be one of the ones that you pre-brew right now. It doesn't many, so you don't really feel bad if you waste it. I definitely would try to use it at least on one of the Brilliant Foundables for the Pensive. Or something like that. I would hold off from trying to do anything involving fortresses until you get to the 4th part, so that automatically takes up most of the potions out. So yeah, Tonic of Trace Detection and a regular EX potion is what I would probably try to use right there. If you're stuck on Part 2 of unlocking those portmanteaus, make sure, like I said, you leave some space for the 1 kilometer portkeys you're going to get from the book event. Those 1 kilometer portkeys you'll be able to blow through, and they will count towards the unlocking of the 5 portmanteaus for Part 2. And that's huge. That's so awesome that they're giving us those 1 kilometer portkeys for this event. I might use some silver keys on Brilliant Portkeys tomorrow when the event starts, but you shouldn't have to really use silver keys. I wouldn't try to use your silver keys until you get to the bonus, and I would honestly not grab a ton of Brilliant Portmanteaus because you'll have the rest of the week, you'll have at least 3 or 4 days after the book event ends to pick up those Brilliant portmanteaus in order to walk them. So I would definitely keep some space for dragons. for the dragon portmanteaus and use your silver key. Don't go crazy and use your gold key. Sorry, use your gold key. Don't go crazy and use your silver keys. Save those for open the 10 portmanteaus, which you can do later in the week. And the really cool thing too, though, is that they actually give you 4 silver keys between the Brilliant event and the Book Night event. So that right there should help you for those fragments from the Brilliant portmanteaus. And I mean, you only need 5, so you can actually, like I said, wait until after the Book Night event to open those Brilliant portmanteaus, because you'll have your gold key and then the 4 silver keys that they give you if you complete that. Now, the next thing I would say is use Book Night to help you with the Part 3 high threat, I should say, foundables, if you're having a hard time finding them. I mean, if you actually can't start this event until Tuesday, until Wednesday, that's completely fine. It actually might almost be more beneficial to wait until Wednesday to start, just because you'll be able to immediately go boom, 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 boom. I can do all of this stuff at once, especially if the Goblet of Fire and the Dragon Foundables are as plentiful as I think they're going to be. You would actually be in a better place to be able to complete it quicker than if you actually start it tomorrow, in my opinion. Same thing with the part 4 and the Fortress challenges. I would wait until the Book Night event actually starts on Wednesday if you get to part 4, so you can actually kill those 2 birds with 1 stone. If you get to part 4, I mean, you can completely wait until Tuesday to actually finish the rest of part 4. Just do all of your fortressing at one time. It shouldn't be that hard. Plus, I mean, with you having to use the 7 potions as well too, if you didn't want to go ahead and do a higher level fortress, you could just wait and then do like something that you're more comfortable with, but you might need to use 1 or 2 potions on to knock out both Book Night and part 4 of the Brilliant event all in one go. So it's super versatile, going back and forth between this. Also, what I would highly recommend is try to get to the bonus before Book Night ends, because if you get to the bonus for the Brilliant event, you can use all of the Book Night spawns to actually help you get those 10 high threats that you actually need to do. Things like that. You can use the 10 port keys that you need to open for the bonus. You can use those 1 kilometer port keys. So there's a lot of things that you can do if you actually make these 2 events work hand in hand. And again, I just want to open reminder to everyone too. If you're using Adventure Sync only operates when the game is off. If you have the game up, it's not going to count your steps. It's going to actually count distance the way the game normally does from point A to point B, which again, it doesn't count turns, it doesn't count curves, it doesn't count anything like that. It's literally a straight line from point A to point B. So honestly, some of this, especially once you get towards the 10 portmanteaus that you need to open during the bonus, you might actually need to start those port keys and then force close the game. Go play Pokemon Go or check Facebook, Twitter, or something. Walk around your park, actually look at the nature. You might have to do things like that in order to open them quicker, because I have noticed that Adventure Sync seems to open portmanteaus quicker than if you just normally play the game, especially if, like I talked about Sandy Run last time, which is it's in a circle. It doesn't count all of the steps all of the time, so it takes me longer sometimes to open some things. But I hope you found all of this helpful. I'm really excited that the 2 events, like I said, working simultaneously together. There's a lot of really awesome stuff that we're going to be able to get this next week. I'm really excited about the Tri-Wizard Cup fragments from Book Night. I'm really excited about the Goblet of Fires and the dragons actually showing up from Book Night too. But like I said, my name is Turmentic. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Make sure to give it a like if you have found it helpful. Subscribe for more tips and tricks. Make sure you ring that little bell, because that way you know and you're notified whenever I post any great videos like this for the masses. But thanks again so much for checking it out. I wouldn't be able to do this stuff without all of you supporting me. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're most excited about with this event. You have any questions or anything like that as well, I will try to help you out as much as I can. But my name is Turmentic, and as always, I hope you have a wonderful day.